But what if you'd like to move to a place where you and your family felt safe and could really enjoy life? Well, that's just what some conservative Christians are doing. They're so worried about the future of America, they've gone to the so-called American Redoubt. The word redoubt means fortress or a safe, protected place. Chuck Holton has this rather extraordinary story from Idaho.
We have a breaking news story.
Angry protesters are on the streets of Los Angeles right now.
Alarm over the future of America can be seen almost daily in the headlines. The loss of privacy, constitutional freedoms, and out-of-control government spending are just a few of the reasons sending shockwaves across the country.
Christian bakers in Oregon.
Religious persecution is on the rise, and that's leading many believers to look beyond the ballot box and start voting with their feet. Dave Westbrook moved his family out of the city 12 years ago.
I was pastoring a city church, and it was through my own Bible study and my own prayer life that I became convicted that I needed to do something. We needed to live in a different situation.
The area he chose is attracting more and more like-minded families every year, the Inland Pacific Northwest. It's an area which includes Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and the eastern parts of Washington and Oregon. Members call this movement the American Redoubt.
Ultimately, we believe God led us to the Northwest. I think that people recognize tough times are coming, and it's causing them to think about their situation. It's causing them to think about how they live now, the security of their family, the stability of society, and how they're going to relate to that. But I'm finding something else too, and that is that more and more people are resonating with this idea of getting back to the land, of living a simple, more natural way. And I mean, that doesn't surprise me, because the way I see it, the Creator wired us for this.
Idaho is a paradise for nature lovers of all kinds, and it's also one of the least populous states in the Union. And that's a big draw for the kind of people that would come to the American Redoubt, not necessarily because they want to get away from everybody, but just because they feel like it's more free for them to live and work and worship as they please.
Where your kids can run free. They're spending time with, livestock, with the horses. They're in the garden.
We saw how quickly things deteriorated.
John and Sarah enjoyed life in Florida until a hurricane changed their outlook forever. They asked we not show their faces.
How fragile our civilization is. And I witnessed people get into fistfights over bags of ice. And I realized that if things were to get worse in this country, I need to be someplace safe, out of the big cities.
The couple invested their life savings and recently moved to the American Redoubt. And so far, they're very happy with their choice.
So right now I can say I'm excited about the new challenges and the new life that we're going to embrace, that we have embraced, that we were prepared and ready to face. What challenges are coming our way, I don't know, but I know that God brought us here and God's going to bring us through any troubles that we do have.
Welcome, and thanks for listening to Radio Free Redoubt, the emerging safe haven and refuge for God-fearing, liberty-loving...
The growth here has spawned radio programs, websites, and even its own silver coins. Todd Savage moved his real estate business from San Francisco and now helps people looking to make the move.
The core of this movement is to help like-minded conservative Christians move to the Redoubt area, to eastern Washington, Idaho, Montana, and sometimes Wyoming. And it's a wonderful place to be, to educate your children and to have freedom. Since the re-election of President Obama, we've seen a huge increase in demand.
But it's not about being exclusive. It's about liberty.
The American Redoubt is meant for freedom-loving folks that are accepting of everyone, regardless of their religious preferences, their skin color, even though predominantly they're conservative Christians coming here of all races, colors, and creeds.
And it's not just families. Businesses are moving in as well. One notable growth industry, gun and ammo manufacturers driven out of other states by restrictive gun legislation. There are now 180 in Idaho alone. But Dave Westbrook asserts the biggest draw is spiritual.
But the environment is just so much more conducive, and I think particularly it's so much more conducive to our spiritual walk with God. And that's, for us, for my family, that's the number one reason why we did this, because it was a way of life.
From northern Idaho, I'm Chuck Holton for CBN News.